top five segment, man. And with Christmas being just around the corner, we're going to go with top five animated Christmas specials. Oh my goodness. Freaking, all the good stuff, man. It really makes you relive your childhood a little bit.
Oh, without doubt. Without doubt. This was a tough one for me because there's back in my day, there used to actually be a lot of animated Christmas specials, and they aired on Christmas Eve, not like December 2nd and shit. Like it was, so this one was hard for me, but I think it's a pretty good list. And I was really intrigued by your list. I thought it was a very unique list of, and yeah, it just shows the range of where your generation was and my generation of how we came to this. So it's really cool. It's really cool. I
Yeah,
can't
it
wait.
is very interesting. And a dishonorable mention is that fucking Star Wars Christmas one. That was not good.
No,
Not
no,
good. I
no.
remember being a young lad, renting that from the library and being so disappointed. Like, what is happening right now? And I mean, to their credit, they even say, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's that, at least. There's that. But number five for both of us goes to Happy Birthday,
Yes.
Frosty the Snowman. This one is so lovable. I mean, come on. Freaking, who wouldn't want? I mean, Dustin and I both grew up around snow, so we know what it's like to build a freaking snowman. And we want to, by the way. We do want to build a
Yes.
snowman.
Yes, we do.
It would be so freaking awesome to have one come to life. I mean, come on now. The amount of love and happiness that all of these films bring. But this one in particular, like, that's why I wanted to put it on my list, because it brings so much joy, so much happiness, even when there's adversity. Like, so I just feel like it's what you need around the holidays, because life can hit you hard, like depression and anxiety. It hits you hard around the holidays. And I think this is a good kind of mirror of that. You know, you're able to conquer anything that comes your way, especially around the holidays, because holidays are meant to be spent with family, friends, and be filled with love. And I think this film definitely represents that.
Without doubt. And it's the simplicity of Frosty.
Yeah.
It's just his pure innocence, his pure, happy to be alive. And I think the message that resonates with me the most about it is what Frosty is really telling you is enjoy every minute that you have because it won't last. It's a short period of time in the grand scheme of things. So be happy, and enjoy every minute that you have with the people that you enjoy being with, because that's what it's all about. And I think Frosty does that, and I love that. And it's also a simple reminder that just because something goes away doesn't mean that it won't come back again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, right? And Frosty always does. He always comes back again. And so, yeah, I think just the whole message, I'm right there with you. The whole message of this beautiful special is that. And how can you not love a show like that? How can you not and my only my only question, and this is just coming from a creative, like, wait a minute. Every time he came back, he happy birthday, as if it was the first time he was coming back, right?
Right.
But he remembered everything.
Yeah.
Well, if it's your first time coming back, it's your rebirth. How do you remember everybody and everything that you did? That was always confusing to me. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Then why would he say happy birthday? He's been here before, and he knows he's been here before. I'm confused. See, first of all, a kid shouldn't even be thinking that, but I was thinking that. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, how does he know who she is? Like, I don't know. But anyway, the stupid things people think of sometimes. But yeah, Frosty the Snowman.
For sure, man, for sure. Number four for me goes to Disney's own Mickey's Christmas Carol. I mean, the Christmas Carol is such an iconic story, and I love when Disney puts their wand on their freaking iconic stories. Just everything that it brings to the table with such beloved characters. It's a story that everybody knows. They know how it's going to end. So it's just the ride. You enjoy the journey. And when you do it with much beloved characters, I feel like it makes it even more special, because you're always going to remember the mouse. Always. So that's why I had to put this on my list. So yes, number four for me, Mickey's Christmas Carol.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, I mean, come on, who doesn't love a Christmas Carol? My number 4, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. They don't show this one anymore, and it breaks my heart because this one I used to love. It's about this family of mice that live in a house, and the mice are clockmakers. And in the town, the signal to allow Santa to know where they are is this clock ringing every year. And the clock breaks, and they're struggling to get the clock fixed, and they're afraid that they won't get the clock fixed and Santa will miss coming to the town. And that's the whole premise of and it's of course the night before Christmas, and but it's a solid story of a father and his son and teaching the legacy of the importance of doing this every year and what it means to the people of the town, the humans and the mice, and all the kind of stuff. And I've just always been fascinated by it. And of course, as it progresses, the show progresses, it goes through, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. But they were stirring because they had to fix that fucking clock. They had to get it going, or he wasn't going to show up. It just, I thought it was a brilliant telling of the Christmas Carol poem, and how it came to be. And I hate that they don't show it anymore. I wish I could find this one somewhere because it's a really good one. But anyway, 'twas the night before Christmas.
Nice. Fantastic pick, man. Fantastic pick. Number 3 for me goes to Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, this one is such a huge cult phenomena. I feel like definitely in the Gothic community, but I also feel like the younger generation, obviously, all the Gothic communities love and idolize Tim Burton because his movies are so freaking out there. Sweeney Todd, Edward Scissorhands, and all of them.
For
all
sure.
of them, man. Just because I feel like they give people a sense of understanding and a sense of belonging. So I feel like that's what this film did as well, because you have a lot of people out there who are much bigger Halloween fans than they are Christmas fans. So to be able to, I feel like this film combines that to where like everybody feels included, even if you are a different type of person, which is not a problem. But I feel like this film brings a lot of unity to society, who people who may feel different from others. And this film has so many great freaking songs and so many great or so many great scenes, and because I think it's claymation, I think it is, but it's completely different than anything I've ever seen before and probably will ever see. So I definitely wanted to put that on there. Number 3 for me, A Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's a brilliant film, and animation, like you said, it's totally different, and it was groundbreaking at the time, and still is. I mean, yeah, I like how you described it though, because I feel like that's Tim Burton. He's an outcast that has found a way to fit in, and he does that for everybody else with his films. I love that. I really do feel like that's Tim Burton in a nutshell. Love that. My number 3, you can still kind of find it on ABC Family when they do their 20-something days of Christmas or whatever, but you have to catch it because it's not on quick. It's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Love this one. This is about a young Kris Kringle becoming Santa Claus. It's when you first see him delivering toys to a town where it's overrun by what appear to be Nazis. Like, I'm not even kidding. They're like German. Yeah. They've got the helmets on. They're military, and they've basically closed down this town, and the kids aren't allowed to have toys and blah, blah, blah. And he comes to the town to deliver toys, and then he gets caught and kicked out, and then he's got to figure out a way to sneak in and get the toys in. Of course, hence the story of coming down the chimney, sneaking down the chimney. And it's just a really cool origin story of Santa Claus, if you will, about Kris Kringle becoming Santa Claus. And it's so many great songs, just one foot in front of the other. And there's like the Wintermeister, and there's like, there's all these different like things that he's got to overcome to become Santa Claus. But it's just, it's an amazing one. And again, they follow along with the Christmas Carol, and and it's just, Yeah, man, this is such a good one that I wish more people would see. Santa Claus is coming to town. You'll find yourself singing it though. I swear to God, every Christmas I'm like, put one foot in front of the. You can't help it. You can't. If you watch it, you sing. That's all I'm saying. It's Santa Claus is coming to town. Kris Kringle.
There you go, man. There you go. Number two for me, I talked about on last week's show, so I won't say too much about it other than I finally got Emily to watch it, and she actually really enjoyed it, which, she's not the biggest adult animated comedy fan, but I mean, with this one being Adam Sandler and a heartwarming story at the end, she actually really enjoyed it, which I was thankful for, so we can add it into our seasonal rotation
Yes.
because I've always loved this film. Eight Crazy Nights, such a great freaking animated comedy by the one and only Adam Sandler, and basically an underdog story, being the town reject and turned into someone who it's kind of like a Grinch, basically, where his
Yeah.
heart grows 3 sizes that day, and he starts to become a good person through other people lending their helping hand to him. And it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story. So number two for me, Eight Crazy Nights.
Nice. See, I love that. I love the diversity of the lists that we're getting. It makes total sense. And now my number two and number one. I mean, just if you're my age, shit. If you're any age, really, you probably these are on your list. But I mean, they were musts. My number two, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Mm.
Classic. Okay, this thing's been around for maybe as long as I have, if I'm not mistaken. If not, just shy of. Because, guys, by the way, if you're trying to find it this time, it's on NBC. It's the first time it hasn't been on CBS in 50 years. And see, I'm 54. So I think this thing has been around for as long as I have. And it's like, come on, this is classic claymation. This is the classic, Rudolph the Red, again, the misfit reindeer who has to end up on the island of misfit toys that nobody wanted. And the misfit becomes the hero because Christmas can't happen without him. And it's just the beautiful telling of how being yourself and being unique and being proud of it and being your authentic self, you can fit in and eventually people will accept you. It's a beautiful story, man. It's a beautiful story, and he finds love, and the big scary guy puts the star on the tree and everything. Come on, Santa gets fat, Santa's skinny, and she's like, "Eat, Santa, eat." That's one of my favorite things. It's like, fatten that boy up, get him going. This is a classic, man. I think everybody knows it, everybody's seen it, but you still watch it every year because you can't help yourself. You got to see it. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, plain and simple.
Exactly. Yeah, it came out in 64. Came out in
So
1964.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
6 years older than I am. Damn.
Yeah.
Rudolph up there.
Getting up
Rankin and
there.
Bass, man. They were like the king of Christmas fucking shows back in the day, man. Like they
Yeah.
just were it.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Well, my number one goes to the mean one, Mr. Grinch, and I'm going to talk about the original one.
Yes.
I mean, the original one was probably like 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think what this was able to walk, so Jim Carrey was able to run. Because I mean, the interpretation that Jim Carrey was able to give from this animated film, I mean, was very spot on. Like all the way down to the smile and the dog's relationship with the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who. But overall, like obviously we know the story, we love the story, but I love the animation. The 2D animation drawing of this particular film show, whatever you want to call it, it is honestly beautiful. Like I love old school hand drawn cartoon films, TV shows, and this one never disappoints. So that's why it's always on the list, and it brings you such bright colors with such a wholesome story where it's like kind of like Eight Crazy Nights, where it's an underdog story where at the beginning they're bad, but then people show them love, so then they turn out to be good. This one is also a classic because, I mean, how do you not watch this every single freaking year? Because it's, like I said, one of the best. Even if you watch the Jim Carrey one every single year, you have to go back and watch this as well.
Oh yeah.
That one came out in 1990 or 1966 as well. So it's 2 years younger than your Rudolph. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, all the classics still staying on the young boys list. So number one for me, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
And you're right. It's the classic because they tried to redo an animated version recent, right? How the Grinch Stole, and it was that modern animation, kind of 3D-ish anime, and it just didn't
Yeah,
work. I didn't like it.
yeah,
You
me
either
too.
watched the
They
live
covered
action
that.
or you watched the original, right? Because that new one just it didn't work for me. I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan. But you're
Yeah,
right. And I mean, come on, narrated by the legendary fucking Boris Karloff. I mean,
right.
hello. Duh. It's like, and that's another one that you can still catch on like ABC Family or just Family, whatever the fuck they call it now. It plays
ABC
there.
signature.
Yeah. My number one, duh, duh, duh. I think it's on everybody's list. Everybody watches it every year because how do you know the true meaning of Christmas unless Linus breaks it down for you, okay? Linus needs to break that shit down and to explain the true meaning of Christmas every year. And he does. I'm of course talking about A Charlie Brown Christmas. Now, can you go wrong? You got Snoopy decorating his house. You got the tree that nobody wants. You got it's right up there. It's right up there. Can there it is. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. My Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Again, I think this is like, because let's be honest about it. Christmas has become very commercial, right?
Yes.
It's a very commercial holiday now. It's all about selling cards and selling decorations and all these kind of things. And I think Charles Schultz did a brilliant job with this animated special about poking fun at that and having to remind people what Christmas is actually all about. Hence the breakdown by Linus about, hey man, this is not about this. This is about the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and coming together with your family and celebrating the meaning of being, and it's sad that you would need an animated special to remind people of what Christmas is all about, and yet
Yeah.
you had to. And
Had
this
to.
is a fun way to do it. I mean, the opening with them all on the skating pond and Snoopy getting caught up in Linus's blanket and toppling Lucy and just the classic kick, Lucy pulling the football out. And it's just, yeah, is there Christmas without a Charlie Brown Christmas? Not for me. I got to watch this shit every year. I got to do it because it's just, I feel like it's not Christmas unless I watch a Charlie Brown's Christmas. And who doesn't love, I mean, come on. Come on. Everybody knows the song. Everybody plays the song. I'm just saying. My number one, A Charlie Brown Christmas. Love you, Chuck. Can't do it without you, buddy. Chuck and Snoopy, man.
So good, so good. And Woodstock, can't forget about
And
Woodstock.
Woodstock. Yeah, come on, Woodstock, man. Is there a Snoopy without Woodstock? It's like Batman and fucking Robin. Yeah, Snoopy needs Woodstock, right? Like, come on.
He does. But man, oh man, please let us know your animated Christmas specials that you love, that you watch every single year. Be sure to let us know in the YouTube comments section or on social media. Like we said, we are anywhere and everywhere on social media, so we love the fan interaction. Please be sure to leave us your thoughts and opinions on that.